If she's that young, she's probably never seen a real man before.
Hello, young lady.
Hello friends and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up if you want. Today we're diving back into r/Tales of Neckbeards. Wait, maybe it's Neckbeard Stories. In any case, it comes from my personal subreddit r/ReddX reads. Indeed, it is the final part of Linkbeard. I do have some more tabletop shenanigans planned, written by old Irish pirate, so you need not worry about not getting your tabletop fixed. The next one's kind of Star Warsy, which I don't know if it'll perform as well as Zelda, but I really like both of those IPs, so we're just gonna have to see how it goes when we get there, I suppose. I'm happy to bid a farewell to Linkbeard, honestly. It seems like he's just been devolving the entire time. Like, it started out okay, and then it just got worse and worse. Never dipping to the levels of Unfortunate or anything like that, but it's definitely some sus behavior on Linkbeard's part, and I'll be happy to see him get some comeuppance. As always, links to the previous parts are in the description. We've also got, podcast services and all kinds of other stuff down there. You could dig around, find something that maybe tickles your fancy. But if this video is what tickles your fancy, then let's get it started. We'll get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some of this Neckbeard Stories cringe. The Legend of Linkbeard, Part 10. Goodbye, creep. The finale. Goodbye, creep. That's just like so passive, dismissive. Like he didn't really affect you at all, which is probably a good thing because I think neckbeards are mostly looking for some attention. Hello, Reddit. Hi, user Tiny Hairy Potato. Hairy Hiney Potato. God, I'm losing my mind. This is the final part of the Linkbeard story, and as I have pretty much already written everything out before ReddX even started this story, I thought I would clear up a few things about how Australian humor differs from humor in other countries. We swear and insult each other a lot. It's also pretty common in the LGBTQ+ community to call each other things that straight people might consider a slur. Even straight friends call each other naughty names from time to time. Though you're only really calling someone those names if you're either really close friends or legitimately want that person to die. I mean, it's relatively the same throughout most of the Western world. I mean, I even see it in the Philippines a whole heck of a lot. If you're close to a person, then you can call them basically whatever the hell you want. But with that in mind, I prefer, this is my personal preference, as I pointed out in another part, I just prefer to call nice people nice things. I like you. Why would I ever call you any of those things? You know what I'm saying? Even stuff like, hey, listen up, nerds. I'm like, ugh. It feels like you're trying to put yourself on a pedestal. That's why I call all of my subscribers friends, because really we're all equals. Like, we're humans, aren't we? Let's try to treat each other as such. But again, just my personal viewpoint. I ain't trying to change how anybody does business. So it's mostly the tone in which you swear that conveys if you're friends with the person you're calling a bastard or if you actually legitimately hate them. So Dungeon Master calling me a batch or a cow is more of a gentle ribbing / unofficial nickname. Whereas if you called a politician that did something that you object to a freaking bastich, then you know that they hate that guy. But again, I question why we even need this line. Just call your friends nice things and save the bad name for the bad people. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm getting frustrated already. So I guess it's mostly a cultural thing because most Australians I know think that Americans are crybabies when it comes to swear words. Like some states in America where they absolutely pee their pants when someone says "God damn" when they stub their toe. While here I am, stubbing my toe and yelling, "Goddamn mother..." My poor monetization. I hope my editor's gonna clip all that. I can't do that. So yeah, I myself was really confused that some people seem to be a little confused or offended at my language. Well, I don't think I was confused or offended. I just pointed out that I like to do things a little bit differently. But like I said, I ain't trying to change the way you do stuff neither. I like calling my friends nice names. I just think it's neat. Also, in part 5, ReddX questioned why the rest of the group allowed Linkbeard to keep playing if he was an alleged sex offender. Well, this was because Dungeon Master and I didn't tell the others about it. But you should have, though. Don't they have offenders knock on doors if they move into a neighborhood? It's kind of the same vibe, right? Only Dungeon Master and I knew, and we didn't say anything just in case we were wrong and he was innocent. Fair point. Calling someone a sex offender, especially a man, could legitimately destroy their life. I'm not about destroying someone's life unless I 100% know that they did something worthy of getting their life destroyed for. Yeah, but who's the arbiter of that judgment? Like, never mind. Not going there either. Anyway, with that rant out of the way, it is time for the story of how Linkbeard finally got kicked from the group. And from the lives of law-abiding society in general. Oh, snap, that's some foreshadowing. So, during the week after we all told Dungeon Master to kick Linkbeard from the group, the George Pell scandal was really gaining traction again. As a side note, George Pell is an Australian cardinal of the Catholic Church. He was basically getting in trouble for one of those things that everyone thinks of when it comes to Catholic priests.
I remember when I was in England, we were preparing some young English boys.
No, he wasn't touching kids, but he was moving the kid diddlers around and covering everything up. Considering how notorious many religious institutions are when it comes to that kind of crap, I am not really surprised. Well, that is quite a scandal. I'm not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole either. We're just moving on. Turn a blind eye, much like the Catholic Church. Oh crap, I did it. This is like a minefield out here. I don't I don't think it's safe. Also, I don't think it's many religious institutions. I think it's basically the Catholic Church. As far as I know, they've at least gotten the most press for it. Anyways, we were all in a pretty somber mood about it because, yeah, it is really messed up. And as usual, when this kind of stuff comes up, we were discussing how these demon incarnates should be punished, and some of the arbitrary rules that surround religious institutions in general. Yeah, I know, loaded topic. I'm dancing around trying not to step on any minds. But we're all pretty much decided that kid diddlers deserve to get their genitals ripped off or out because we aim for equality here. Female kid diddlers are just as disgusting as male ones by a rabid Tasmanian devil and left to bleed out. Trust me, this is unfortunately relevant. I was just gonna ask why why this was all brought up. Now I have even more dread for what comes at the end of Linkbeard, man. Holy God. Maybe I shouldn't have did this today. This session was what DM called a mega session, which was basically an all-day session instead of our typical 3 to 4 hour session, which meant that we would bring snacks and break for lunch/dinner, which was probably going to consist of pizza and Chinese food, maybe some Indian. Takeout. Although after having recovered from food poisoning, the past couple of days I've been sort of off my game because I've been poisoned from takeout food. I don't trust anybody but my wife to make food anymore. I'll probably forget about that in a week, but for right now, I'm playing it safe. So we all got set up, most of us shooting the DM these looks that indicated that if Linkbeard didn't change his attitude, some of us were gonna walk. And yeah, I was 100% going to walk if DM drew this out any longer. I have to question, why is the dude even there? He showed up. Shouldn't you have sent him a text message between games and been like, hey bro, you're out of the group, don't bother coming, instead of having him show up and making it all awkward by dismissing him face to face? It's not a breakup, a romantic relationship. Just, that's fine. You can kick somebody out of a D&D group through text. It is infinitely easier that way. Oh boy, so we ended up traveling around the mountains for a bit and found Nehru's shrine. Nina and Ludo ended up getting a blessing and got +2 to wisdom and +1 to intelligence. Unable to find the queen there, we decided to head south to the Gerudo desert. Now, here's the thing about Gerudo. They were pretty much based off of the Amazonian warriors of Greek mythology. They are very matriarchal, and the place that they reside, Gerudo Town, does not let men in for any reason, so only Nina, Ori, and I would be allowed to go in. Wait, the giant rock monster man is allowed to go in? I guess because he doesn't have any dangly bits. He's walking around naked. And yeah, OP explains. Now, the reason Ori was allowed to go in, despite being a man and using male pronouns, is that Goron are not seen as male by Gerudo. In Breath of the Wild, when you do enter Gerudo Town, there are indeed Goron walking about. Some of them are confused as to why they were allowed in, but are happy that they were able to do so. I believe in the Japanese version of the game, there's some dialogue where the Goron says something like,
They're my girlfriend. At least, I think they're a girl.
They're talking about another Goron sitting right next to them, so either Goron are canonically non-binary, or Gerudo just have no idea what they are. I mean, I've never seen a female Goron, so yeah, I think they might be non-binary.
I made it all the way to Gerudo Town, but I'm not sure why they let me in.
Now that is some interesting Legend of Zelda lore, looking way deeper than I ever decided to look, but yeah, enlightening at the very least. No one protested, since it meant we didn't have to figure out how to disguise a big rock man, but we still had Ludo, Akira, and Linkbeard to think about. Through some good rolls and using some logic, Ludo managed to convince the guards at the gate that he was actually a Zora female. Yeah, because Zora's got like fish junk. You can't see it, it's not hanging out either. Well played indeed. We brainstormed some ideas on how to sneak Akira and Linkbeard in. In the end, it was decided that I would go inside and buy some clothes for them to change into. Linkbeard wasn't too happy about essentially having to cross-dress. He was muttering about how it was
unmanly and demeaning for a man to wear women's clothes.
Your masculinity is so fragile, Linkbeard. Just try a skirt on. See how freeing it is. I'm just saying. I haven't done it in many years, but for a laugh, yeah, I'll wear a dress. I don't care. Akira just shrugged.
Just consider it going undercover or, role-playing. Like, we're already role-playing, so we're role-playing while we're role-playing. It's like role-playception.
Exactly. Linkbeard continued to grumble, and we somehow got into the city. Ludo had theorized that since the Gerudo town was all female, this could also be a potential safe haven for the queen and her baby. So we went inside and had a look around. We went around and looked at all the stalls and talked to some people. A lot of the locals were happy to see me back there again, and I was happy to talk with everyone. Hell yeah, OP, give me that family and friends discount, you know what I'm saying? I got a lot of rupees to spend. Gotta stimulate my local economy. We picked up a few side quests and finished a few others. We managed to get a fair bit of rupees and were able to spend it on some cool gear with fun perks. We considered talking to the queen of the Gerudo to see if she was sheltering the Hylian queen. We asked Dungeon Master if the Hylians and Gerudo were on friendly terms. He was kind of going with the relationship that the queens had in Breath of the Wild. The queens were very close, and it was implied that after the Hylian queen's death, the Gerudo queen Urbosa saw Zelda as a surrogate daughter of some sort. And so it could have been logical that the queen and her baby were there. God, did I miss all this in the storyline? I gotta play Breath of the Wild again, just when I find an extra 200 hours to do so. We did manage to get an audience with the Gerudo queen, and after proving that the Hylian king sent us to find his wife and child, I, once again, ended up being the face of the party and did the majority of the talking, which obviously annoyed Linkbeard, who still wanted to be the leader despite doing very little to institute himself as the leader.
You guys just make me the king.
That's how you get to be the leader, the king. Just whine about it. This is a meritocracy, Linkbeard, and you are not worthy. I forget the reason why, but there was something that the Gerudo queen wanted us to do before she gave us information that she had on the Hylian queen. Something to prove that we were worthy of protecting them or something. We ended up having some more downtime and split the party up to do our own thing. We all did normal kinds of stuff. Akira went and did some more shopping. I took Nina to meet my mom so she could get more information for her book on plants and animals. Ori found some fellow Goron to talk about rocks to. Ludo decided to get drunk at the local bar. All good, normal, simple activities that a bunch of normal people would do in a D&D game, right? Yeah, I guess so. And then there was what Linkbeard wanted to do. Why you gotta ruin everything, though? It's just kind of his MO. He wants to do the dumbest thing all the time. You know, you think DM would start planning for stuff like this. Linkbeard looked around the marketplace, clearly looking for something.
DM, what do I see around the marketplace?
Lots of Gerudos buying and selling things. A few Hylian and Rito women trading with Gerudo. Some Goron and Gerudo looking at each other in a confused manner. And some kids running around playing, said Dungeon Master.
How old are the kids?
Oh my god, I hate it. DM asks, why?
I just want to know if they're like teenagers or like young kids. You speak differently to a kid than you would to a teenager.
Oh god, Linkbeard, this is just a cover-up for the worst thing imaginable. I hate where this is going. Honestly, I do hope that he ends up in jail. I don't have any proof positive quite yet. I'm not the arbiter of life's being ruined, but I'm super uncomfortable with where this is headed. Okay. DM seemed kind of worried, and if DM was worried, then I was also worried. I was sharpening my pencil to get it to a very fine point. Yes, stab him now! The kids are adolescents, like maybe 7 to 10, very young. Their mother is probably very close by keeping an eye on them. Linkbeard just chuckled.
If she's that young, she's probably never seen a real man before.
Hello, young lady.
Oh, God, dude. That is the soul cringe that I hate. This is the worst. Cue the very awkward silence as everyone looked at Linkbeard in total disbelief. Best case scenario, Linkbeard was making a joke that didn't hit the mark. Worst case scenario, we were gonna have some real live PvP. 1v6. I mean, this is a point where I would welcome PvP IRL, alright? I equipped the only weapon that I got, these hands, and it's gonna go down. Linkbeard didn't seem to care though, and to his detriment, he didn't shut the hell up.
Might as well give her a real education, if you know what I mean. DM, can I roll to persuade one of them to follow me?
Instantly, everyone at the table practically shouted the safe word that DM put in place. Jumanji! This is absolutely hateable. No, we're not going any further. Linkbeard, pack up your shit and get out. Linkbeard looked extremely annoyed at this and rolled his eyes.
What? It's just a joke. Calm down.
Yeah, that's the most immature thing that you can fall back on. It's just a joke, bro. But is it, though? Every joke has a kernel of truth in it, and I do not like this kernel. I throw it in the trash. Throw the whole guy away. Akira glared at Linkbeard like the scum that he had revealed himself to be. You don't friggin' joke about that kind of sick stuff, Linkbeard. Especially with all the messed up stuff that's happened recently. Yeah, agreed Nina. Do you have any idea how much of a creep you look like just by suggesting that?
Ah, come on. Don't get your panties in a twist,
said Linkbeard.
You're all just testy because you're on your period.
I'm pretty sure there's only 2 women sitting at the table. What kind of logic is that? Nina immediately went from a sweet-looking young woman who wouldn't hurt a fly to a raging she-beast with some kind of psycho yandere look in her eye. What the hell did you just say to me, you brainless limp dick fuck? Say it again! I goddamn dare you! Suddenly, Dungeon Master slammed his book behind his screen. It made a rather loud thunk that made all of us jump a little and look up at him. Dungeon Master had an extremely calm and emotionless look on his face. With no emotion, without raising his voice at all, he just looked over at Linkbeard and said, I'm done. Get the hell out of my house. Linkbeard looked shocked.
What? Come on. It was a joke.
It's not a joke, dude. Now the lolly commission requests from earlier make all too much sense. I hate him as a person. Don't just kick him out. Take him outside, put the boots to him. Medium style. I don't freaking care, said Dungeon Master in that same cold voice. I gave you a chance. I gave you several chances. I looked the other way when I found out questionable things about you. I tried to be a good friend, but after all this crap that you've pulled both in and out of game, I am so done. Fuck off, get out, and stay the hell away from me and everyone else here. Linkbeard was pissed. He stood up quickly, knocking his chair over as he angrily threw his stuff into his bag.
Yeah, screw you. Screw all you guys. You're just a bunch of SJW PC idiots. You can't take a freaking joke. I hope you all die.
And a whole bunch of other crap that I don't really remember. I was just shocked that DM had finally broke and kicked Linkbeard from the D&D group, and whatever weird friendship they might have had was gone. Overall, I was pleased by this, and once he was gone, everyone at the table let out a deep sigh of relief. Then we all went about blocking Linkbeard on everything that we had. I mean, it is just roleplay, he didn't act on anything, but God, I really want to see him hurt. Is that wrong? I mean, there's a lot of story left to go, so we'll see how much worse it can get, I guess. We then broke for lunch and reassured DM that he had done the right thing. DM was still angry and annoyed that he had to kick Linkbeard. It wasn't that he thought Linkbeard was a good friend or a good person. He just wanted to help a weird guy make friends. Yeah, you can't save somebody who doesn't want to save themselves. You can lead a horse to water and then watch it die of thirst. You know what I'm saying? Quite in a literal sense this time around. We continued to play for the rest of the day, with DM explaining that Linkbeard heard a rumor that the queen was somewhere in the desert, and his character wandered off and got eaten by a Molduga. That's right, wrap up that story arc. A fitting end for a self-centered character with severe main character syndrome. And not a tear was shed. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Our epilogue. I never saw or heard of Linkbeard again. And it wasn't until a month later when I was at DM's place again that I asked what had happened to him. I also wanted to know if DM was slipping and trying to be friends with the beard again. It was then that DM told me everything that had happened. So back in part 5 of this story, DM told me he had a plan and didn't tell me what it was. I'm kind of glad that he didn't tell me because in hindsight, I probably would have pulled a Robert Maudsley and smashed his face in until his neck was just a bloody stump. Linkbeard, not DM. Well, thank you for clarifying that. I probably could have guessed because Linkbeard's the one that deserves it, honestly. Linkbeard had sent DM some very questionable stuff. Like, I had suspected that it was porn, way more explicit and X-rated stuff than he sent me. Like, Linkbeard sent me hentai, which was bad enough, but Linkbeard was sending DM actual porn, where apparently the girl's age was highly questionable. God. We could have just left it and he got kicked out, but okay. Deep breath. It's like the impotent rage is rising. Like, DM was worried that ASIO, Australia's version of the FBI, was gonna bust down his door and tase the hell out of him. After viewing this material, DM went and talked with his aunt, who, for anonymity reasons, I'm keeping vague, because she works kinda high up in the state's police force. Like, she isn't cybersecurity, but she knows people who know people. Basically, to simplify everything, Linkbeard was put on ASIO's radar, and through weeks of careful planning, he went on to some dark web pedophile honeypots designed to record and catch those sick bastards. Oh my god! He did get his comeuppance. He did go to jail. Life isn't all terrible. Yeah, that makes me happy, I guess. See, it's always darkest before the dawn, isn't it? DM continued to be friends with Linkbeard, with the hopes that Linkbeard wasn't a total creep, and would have only visited said site once to see what it was, and then never again. Maybe he was also trying to keep a close eye on him just to make sure he didn't have access, or tried to minimize his access to children. Ugh. Maybe he was just vaguely hoping that this was just a slip, and Linkbeard had a very sick sense of humor, and was some kind of troll that just wanted to stick it to the man, or some trash like that. 2 days later, after DM booted Linkbeard from the group, Linkbeard's house got raided. Oh, so good. And according to DM, Linkbeard got caught for distribution of CP and possession of ice with the intent to sell. That's crystal meth. It's also the most widely used narcotic in NSW, at least at the time. Bro, Linkbeard was dealing? That probably means he was using too. Jesus Christ, you really never know who you're sitting down to tabletop game with, do you? And here are some other messed up things that I found out about Linkbeard over the coming months. Linkbeard had been stalking Nina and sending her creepy messages from unknown numbers. According to Nina, the second the messages got weird, she would block the number. Ori was also getting harassed on Facebook and had to switch his whole account to private. All these things stopped once Linkbeard was finally sent to prison. Linkbeard had spread a rumor around his university that Akira
was a dangerous mental case that would try and kill someone at any moment.
You know, because of the whole Akira punching him in the face incident. He was also verbally bullying Ludo, mostly by attacking his self-esteem and mocking his intelligence. Yeah, that's a... If somebody has to mock you for your intelligence, you really have nothing else to come at me with. That's hilarious. The Ludo and Akira thing happened on campus, so I didn't know about either of those. DM also said that Linkbeard was bad-mouthing me behind my back to him. Not surprised there. Of course, it didn't work because DM always had my back, and I got along with everyone else. I had blocked Linkbeard on my social media, and I have my socials private anyways, and my uni wasn't near his, so the only times that Linkbeard could be horrible to me was at the D&D sessions, so I didn't really end up getting the worst of it. I have no idea how long he's going to be put away for, but I at least know that he had a lot of CP and the cops go relatively hard on people who distribute drugs. So as long as no one finds out that he's in for CP, he's probably going to be in there for a very long freaking time. And if they do find out that he's in for distributing CP, then he's going to have a very violent end. A very short time, but a very violent time. I'm not sure which way is better, honestly. They kind of both make me pretty happy. His life is over, one way or the other. On a much lighter note, the campaign did continue, and we had a really fun time. Turns out that the Queen, Zelda, and Impa were all part of that caravan that we helped in the Lost Woods. The man traveling with them and the child were Link and Link's dad, and our heroic exploits helped to inspire the true hero to take up arms and save the people, as we had done for him. Balance was restored, and we stopped the Yiga clan from assassinating Zelda and attempting to bring Ganon back into the world. Nina had finished her book on the flora and fauna of Hyrule. Akira became a great inventor and made a name for himself in Hyrule. Ori became the foreman for a new mining operation in the Gerudo wastelands. Ludo finished up his mentor's work and was given a title that pretty much made him the royal court wizard in the Zora court. I opened up a solid trade route and helped to increase trade and wealth for the people of Gerudo town. And so that was the Legend of Linkbeard, a disgusting beard with a Zelda fetish that did his best to hide how much of a monster he really was. Trust your guts, kids. Stay safe, and remember, some beards cannot be saved. I have a few other stories of encounters with neckbeards that are less, CP related, but those are stories for another time. Thanks to everyone who was interested in my tale and to ReddX for reading it. It was a pleasant surprise. Until next time, potato out. Holy hell, dude, this really went down to the darkest depths imaginable. I hate. Linkbeard is the worst. He should have been called Stealthbeard, man. We had no idea how bad this guy really was. I sat down, I'm like, oh, it's just gonna be a fun little tabletop story about a guy who wants to be the hero of time. And now the hero of time is doing time. God, dude. That is so wild. It seems interesting to me that all these things were happening to people that were in the game and they just kind of never brought it up. Hey, Linkbeard's harassing me at university, DM. And is DM just like keeping all this stuff under his hat in attempts to keep the beard in the game and possibly save him? You'd think at a certain point he'd be like, yeah, you know what? This guy's pretty freaking irredeemable. So part of the blame has to lie on DM for hiding all of these activities, but I also have to lift the blame immediately when I find out that he's basically the reason that Linkbeard ended up behind bars. What a freaking roller coaster, man. I did not know what I was in for when I started Linkbeard, but it's beautiful. I love it as a saga. It does go to some pretty dark places, but I just love the twists and the turns, and every time you think you know what it is what you thought it wasn't. Does that make sense? Jeez, man. Sorry to see it go, but I'm happy that we all got to experience it together. Compilation probably going up in a month or so. And as always, I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. Yes, indeed. I do encourage you to like, comment, and or subscribe. If you did, that's super important. Maybe share the video around because that's a super big brain play. We've also got a bunch of links down in the description. Yes, my plugs, Amazon affiliate link, Mr. and Mrs. ReddX, that's mine and my wife's channel. The Teespring if you're trying to rock the merch. Podcasts, you know, Spotify, iTunes, we're basically everywhere. Playlists if you're looking for a different flavor from the channel. Yeah. We've also got my social medias, of course, Twitter, Discord, Facebook. Hooray! We've also got my Patreon and my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. I would like to thank them as I do every video, Jerry much. So thank you, Robert Waits, Camille, Sarah, ooh, moving up the list, proud of you, Jarhead Jerry, ooh, rah, Logan Wolf, River Jerry, blah, 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 Comrade Ingy, Captain Clown Jerry, Hong Kong, Erin W, Cinema Susie, For Old Lang Syne, Fire Drake, Giggle Jerry, hee hee, Ira different spelling Jerry most of the Jerry the Pirate. Rogue, Silent Revolver. The original Jerry. Jerry! Jerish Kitsune. Matthew Simmons. Satori. 211 Jerry. The Return of the Jerry. The Jerry. Wow, that's big. Quiet statement. A jury of juggling Jerrys, a Justy Jargoni Jerry, a Lunia Demonista, Althea Blue, Anunnaki, Assassin Pug Jerry, Bang Bang, Atheist Jerry, he's so euphoric, Aurora Wildheart, Grizzly, Bailey Joy, Bearded Jerry, watch out for that guy, Bitch Gremlin, Blade the Hero, Blameless Fish, Bloop Bloop Jerry, Saruano Ash, hey, welcome to the fold, Commander J Tank, Dennis Dayton, Dinosaur Nightlight, Disposable Waifu, Emergent Jewel. Hey, welcome to you as well. Aaron Lennox, Frozen Nova Studios, Gypsy, Hadrian BR, have a minty new year, Jerry's. And so we did, at least the first week of it. I'm Slim Jerry, yes, I'm the real Jerry. All you other Slim Jerrys are just imitating. What's going on? Irish Pirate, top of the morning to ya. We're gonna get into his RPG story soon. Wait for it. Itchy Nuts, Just Scratching Bro, a pimp named Jay Crisp, J.M. Coon, Jennifer Schaefer, Jerry Blacktail, Jerry, Bowberry, Banana, Fana, Foferi, Fee, Mo Mary, a Jerry. Jerry, there's more Jerry than the other Jerrys. Jerry the Outlaw Mother Trucker, John Hero, John Jerry, Jingleheimer Schmidt. Hey, that's my name too. Simbufa, because if you're boofing, it's free. KJW, Kajow, Crewhee, Miss Monday, Lord Jerry-O, leader of the Thunder Jerrys, Milady Nix, points katana while also tipping fedora and scratching unwashed swamp crush, Jerry Talon. Swamp Crush. Marble Jerry is currently in no position to dispense Jerryless marbles as they are currently locked in an attic. Oh my god, somebody get in the attic right now. Jackass Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Mr. Carrot 797, Natari, Nightmare Jerry, Origami Jerry Steve, Panda Prince Jerry, Patron Saint of Chicken Nuggies, Saint Jerry, Ramen. Phantom of the Pods, Jerry Kids and Jerry Beth, Professor Tom Moriarty, TSM Kirby, Sarita the Lolita, Saucy Octopus, Stables Eat, aka Jerry Yeet, Stephanie Goodner, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tomago, Teddy the Police, 10-Ton Monster, the Jerrys have got your toes, this little piggy went to the game shop, and he's never coming home. The What's Your Fusky, Tom, but it's the Jerry on the inside that counts. Viking Jerry, what does the beard say? Wilmax, y'all heard about Mr. Jerry? He stole the attic door key and put it in a used wifo pillow. You suck, Marble. Oh, snap. Now he's gonna distribute the Jerryless marbles, right? I'm hoping. Comrade Moody, Kira, you're a wizard, Jerry. Redwind, Goose says Honk, Naga Viper, Cy Jerry the Cyborg, Saint's Blessing, a normal Jerry. I got new marbles, now I need more cringe. Feed me, ReddX. Yeah, I got you, fam. Every day, we out here. Hunter of Jerry's, devourer of all things tasty, it is Tom, because Tom and Jerry never get along. Admiral T-Tank, Alunia, Amara, an elusive wild third inch appears. It was hidden beneath the belly fat. Congratulations, we found it. Atomic Jerryzilla, Breaker of the Tom Army, AZ, Babsy Coon, Banished Knight, Barbushka's Irradiated Jam, Broken Spine, Horseradish, the original different Jerry, that's Cake Jerry, California Jerry Girl, yeah, Chevron 7 Locked, Cha-Cha-Cha-Chia, Jerry, Chris Meska, Cinnamon Bunny Dog, Corporal Admiral, Lieutenant Private General, Tigerian Princess Furry Jerry. I don't always say it, but when I do, I fuck it up. Crib Titties, Cuban Jerry, Defon Jerry, Dopamine Dangerous, Electrical Fennec, Ghost of Alpha, Heeknot. Heeknot is a typo of Geekbot that happened a long time ago, so the K isn't silent, but it isn't overpronounced. Oh, Heeknot. Heeknot. That's working, I think, maybe. You'll let me know. HMT Mayor, Holy Berry Jerry, Hydra Jerry, Jeffrey, my name is Jeffrey. Jerry and Tom versus Happy New Year's Weirby Apocalypse. Jerry Binks, Jerry's evil twin brother, Terry. Jerry Aldo Rivera, check out that mustache. Jerry Bean, yum. Jerry Roxas, yay. Jerry's STI blew a head gasket. Yeah, Subaru's is pretty expensive to fix. Probably, maybe. I never owned one. Jerry role-playing game. King Tom, smasher of Jerry Zillas. Kid to Kid, Life of a Guardian, Little Ann Woods, Lucia Lovecraft, Midnight Sun, Milk-Fed Gimp, Miss Duchess, Not Invisible Angel, I See You, One Leg Jerry, Working at IHOP. Origami Cam, Ghosty, Raptor Art, ReddX, Dive into Jerry. She's my Jerry Pie. Go drink a Mountain Dew on a cringe surprise. I think that's right. Schmitty, Warben Jagerman, Jensen, Schmitty, Snary, the Snom Jerry, Spoony the Rogue, Spoopy Scary Jerrytron, send shivers down your spine. It's gonna be applicable in like 3/4 of a year. Just you wait. Steampunk Ellie, the gaslighting Terry. I never paid you on Patreon. You crazy. Oh crap. Where did all this money in my freezer come from? The Necro Jerry Con, the original Jerry, not To Infinite Jerry and Beyond, definitely. Tuna Fish Jerry, Aquarium Escapee, get that boy. Zestaboo Jerry, and Tom Promise, Jerry Swiss, oh no bad Jerry, Tom be a good boy, don't swear, it's just facts, Swiss High School, head look up, the rice video. And also thank you to my $1 patrons, beautiful people that they are. You guys absolutely smashing it on the Patreon. Holy heck. Thank you guys. Thank you more than words can say. Obviously, I do hope some other people will sign up on the Patreon, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you'll need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, for reals. But also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some ReddX videos. And I hope that that is what you enjoy. Always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely, definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one. And until then, bye-bye.